What's up, y'all? So, if you were with me in the last video, we talked about 5 things you can be doing to increase your chances of standing out in this competitive job market, right? This is a competitive job market. People are saying, oh, this is the worst job market in years. Nobody can get hired. We're in a recession, right? You hear the alarms going off. And we looked at 5 things you can be doing to set yourself apart, 5 things that you need to be doing. And it's always good to know things that you can do to uplift yourself, but it's also necessary to recognize the things that you're doing that are sabotaging you. So, what we're going to do in this video is an inverse of what we talked about, and we're going to look at a bunch of different reasons, a bunch of different ways that are going to hurt you when you're looking for jobs, and we're going to look at ways that people waste their time in college, the ways that they are not optimizing their chances of being an attractive candidate as an employee when they graduate. I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend months on the job hunt when I graduate. Okay, I want to hit the ground running. And a lot of these things that I've become aware of have led to me being able to have pretty attractive prospects for when I graduate here in a few months. And I'm working harder and harder to make sure that I have the best possible chances of getting hired by the jobs that I want to be hired as. Okay, I don't want to settle. Maybe some of you want to settle. I don't know. But this is going to take 5 minutes for me to get through. If you don't have that, well, then you're just going to keep going on. Maybe you want to settle. I don't know. But we're going to look at these things that are ruining your chances of getting hired. Things that you do while you're in college that are going to make you a less attractive candidate when you're applying for jobs in this very competitive job market. So why don't we just get straight into it, okay? The first thing, putting all your effort into getting a 4.0 GPA. And I know you're thinking, what? Shouldn't that help me stand out as a student? Shouldn't that help me get a good career? Isn't that what they want to see? Well, we're talking business here, right? I'm trying to talk to people who are in college, but specifically people who are studying business. And business is not like the medical field, and it's not like other professions that most of the work goes in school, learning terms, and you know, the classes are very important. For business students, yes, the classes are important, but there are other qualities that are a lot more important. They want to see that you have initiative. They want to see that you are creative. They want to see that you are high agency. They want to see that you have sales skills. So there are other things that you should be using your time for rather than studying all night, trying to get a 4.0 or doing every single assignment um, that will set you apart as a candidate. So it's not the worst thing, right? You're not definitely not going to be cooked if you have a 4.0. It's actually an advantage if you can fit in other things that are more worth your time doing, self-initiated projects, work experience, doing other things, even just working to have more money, to take more risks, to be able to have certifications is a better use of your time. So I'm going to say you're going to be fine, right? If you have a 4.0, you're going to be fine as long as you're doing the other things that are more likely to make you an attractive candidate when you're applying for jobs. Okay, let's move on. Well, not having a LinkedIn account or having a bad LinkedIn account, right? Not having a photo, not having your work experience, not ever posting, not ever engaging. Understand that we don't want to do it. Okay, I don't really care to be on LinkedIn all the time, but you know what? I make an effort to be on LinkedIn. I made an effort to have a polished account on LinkedIn, and it's definitely helpful. Okay, it's like social media. It's the first way that you can get connected, and just assume that the career you're gonna have when you graduate is gonna come from a personal connection, and the only way to do that is to get a foot in the door, and the best way to do that, I think, right now is through LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm gonna say if you don't have a LinkedIn account, or if you have a bad LinkedIn account, you're not cooked. Good luck. It's definitely suboptimal, but honestly, it might be at the point where good luck. But you know what? If you have a strong connection of people, you have a strong network around you of personal connections, then you could be fine without a LinkedIn. But for most people, I would say good luck if you don't have a LinkedIn account or if you have a bad LinkedIn account. It's definitely something that you should just do. Okay, let's move on. Oh, being around the same group of friends throughout your whole 4 years of college. Well, we're all gonna have friends who are closer than others. We're all gonna have that group of friends that's just, those are your boys, those are your girlfriends. That's who you want to be around most of the time. And that's fine. But you definitely need to be able to be friends with different groups of people. Okay? You don't want to stay around the same group forever. And you definitely need to be your own person to where you're not just being influenced by those people and you are expanding your network. Okay? You want to learn how to have relationships with all sorts of different people. So I would say if you're just staying in the same group of friends throughout your all 4 years of college, I would say that that's definitely suboptimal. Okay, you're not going to be cooked, but it's not the best thing you could be doing. You should be finding different people who share your values, who are heading in the same direction you are, and you're not going to find that group when you first enter college. Okay, when the first friends that you are going to come in contact with when you go into college are most likely going to be because maybe they're roommates, or you had a lot of classes together, or maybe you play on the sports team together, but that doesn't mean that they share all of your goals and that they want to go in the same direction you're going. So you need to be aware of that, and you need to be thinking about who can I join with, who have similar goals as me, that we can, share insights and work towards these goals together. Okay, let's move on. Putting too much emphasis on your degree. Okay, as a business student, if you do that, I think you're cooked. Honestly, I'm gonna put that in cooked. I could say good luck. No, I'm gonna put that in cooked. Okay, if you're putting too much emphasis on your degree, thinking that your degree is just gonna get you into the places you want to be, I'm scared, right? I'm scared for you because the degree, honestly, for business students, that's just gonna get you in the door. Okay, that's just, if you don't have the degree, they're not even looking at you, honestly. Um, the degree is gonna get you in the door. There are so many things that you need to be doing outside of just having your degree that um, you need to be doing if you're going to have a chance at getting these careers that you want to have. If you're just relying on your degree and thinking that's enough and you're not doing things outside of that, you're gonna have a really hard time finding a career that you want, a competitive job after you graduate. Okay, yes, the diploma is good. Yes, it's might open doors for you, but all that's gonna do is get you in the door. It's not gonna get you the job. Okay, the reasons that you get hired are all gonna be separate from your degree. Okay, let's move on. Only doing assigned work, okay? Only doing homework, only doing school projects. That means not taking on self-initiated projects, not doing your own things, not publishing your own content in one way or another, okay? Something that I do on LinkedIn is I've published a few videos of things that I've created. So when recruiters are going and looking at my LinkedIn profile, they know something about me. They've seen that I've been able to build something, okay? And that's self-initiated. I spent hours and hours and also money learning how to create things that I think would make me an attractive candidate as an employee. So if you're only doing assigned work, stuff that you get assigned from school or your job, um, good luck. Okay, good luck. Okay, this is a competitive job market, and I know, oh, I have to do things outside of school. School's already tough enough. Yeah, okay, I get it, but this is competitive, and if you have to do extra, you have to take extra measures if you want to stand out in this job market. So yeah, you need to do self-initiated projects. Start looking at frustrations around you. Start thinking, start having a problem solver mindset, and start creating, start experimenting, trying to find solutions for those things. And then when you do that, take a little Loom video and post it on LinkedIn or YouTube. This is like an experiment for me. Okay, this YouTube channel is like an experiment for me. And if you want to get started building something for yourself, having something tangible that you can show, well, I created a Google extension that can help you start building AI automations within a day or two. And this is a game changer because it took me hours and hours of watching YouTube tutorials, asking chat how to teach me how to build automations. This Google extension will sit by your side and help you step by step build whatever automation you want to build. So if you want more information on that, look at the link in my description. That'll show you exactly how the tool works. It'll have a little demo for you. Let's get on. Let's move on. Okay. Not taking care of your appearance. Okay. Looking like a bum when you're at school. And that doesn't mean that you're not sharp and dressed to impress every single day at school. But overall, not having the best hygiene, wearing your pajamas, wearing sweatpants at school all the time, you're just not going to be as you're not going to be taken as seriously. Your professors are going to, they're not going to look at you as someone who is serious. So I'm going to say, yeah, good luck. Good luck if you're not putting in an effort to look good, putting in an effort to look clean and look professional. Okay, look like you take yourself seriously. That's really what it's all about. Okay, you don't have to be the most attractive person on campus, but look like you take yourself seriously. Okay, next. Not having long-term goals. This is extremely important as a college student because I understand that a lot of people get into school and they're trying to find their way. They don't know what they want to do yet. And that's okay, right? We don't know exactly what we want to do, but having a long-term goal of where you want to be, the kind of lifestyle you want to live, the kind of work you want to do, being in tune with that, understanding your strengths and limitations, and knowing where you want to be in 5, 10 years is extremely important because that is going to dictate your daily habits. That's going to dictate your short-term goals. So if you saw my last video, I talked about having an ikigai, which is a Japanese word for having a purpose, having a mission. And you guys should go watch that video because it has like a little diagram that you can fill out and it'll help you find your one true purpose for being on this earth, your purpose for waking up in the morning. And that's extremely important because it's going to guide you throughout your daily living. So if you don't have a long-term goal, I'm going to say, I don't know, this is hard because we don't know exactly what we want to do 20 years from now. But having an idea is extremely important. And I'm going to say if you don't have an idea of what you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to do in 10 years, 5 years from now, good luck. Okay. If you're walking around directionless, it's going to show in your actions. Okay. Having no work experience as a college student, when you graduate and you're applying for jobs, you're cooked. Okay. If you have no work experience and you're 22, 23 years old, what have you done for the last 6, 7 years of your life? I mean, straight up, if you have no work experience, what have you been doing? I mean, you have nothing to show. Okay, it's almost like the same thing as emphasizing your degree too much. You have nothing to show for yourself. Why would an employer trust you as a good employee if you've never had a work experience? That means you have no one to advocate for you either. You're cooked. Okay. Let's move on. Being insecure. This is a tough one because we all have insecurities, right? Obviously, we all have our own insecurities. But if you're insecure to the point where you can't try anything and you're always anxious about what other people are thinking about you, that's going to really hold you back. And it's not going to be good. You're not going to be an attractive candidate as an employee. It's going to show when you're in interviews. And you're not going to stand up for yourself. You might not even apply for certain jobs because you're too insecure about it. And that's just a self-sabotage that you don't want to fall into, okay? Yes, we all have our own insecurities. But if you're insecure to the point where your actions are dictated by what other people think about you, you're going to fall into some really bad traps. And it's really going to hold you back from getting to where you want to be when you graduate. So I'm going to put that in... it's tough because we all have insecurities. But if you're so insecure to the point where you can't put yourself out there, where you can't try new things, where your actions are dictated by your insecurities, good luck. I might even put that in cooked, you might be cooked. Um, but we'll leave it at good luck for now. Okay. Next, overspending. Having high expenses as a college student. Okay. There's a lot of people at my school who are driving Mercedes and BMWs. And it's people who I've grown up in the vicinity with. I've known them. They've gone to high schools in my district and whatnot, and they don't come from rich families, and yet they're driving BMWs and Mercedes. Listen, you might be able to pay for that stuff, and that goes for overspending on food, that goes for clothes, shoes, whatever you're overspending on, you might be able to pay for it, but that means that your time is being taken up just to pay for that. You could be working to improve yourself, you could be working to be able to take risks, but instead you're spending it on trying to look good. And this goes hand in hand with the insecurity part. If you're insecure in yourself, so you go buy a nice car so that you can look good to somebody, that's going to hold you back. I'm telling you, it's a cheat code. If you're able to live with low expenses and stack up some money so that you are comfortable taking risks, comfortable investing into yourself, that's a cheat code, because a lot of people always want to upgrade their lifestyle. So I'm going to say, if you're overspending while you're in college, we've all overspent in one way or another, but no, you're good luck. And that might, honestly, you're cooked. If you're fine, you might still be able to land a good job if you're overspending, but good luck, right? Because your mind is always going to be occupied. You're going to have stresses from bills, and you're not going to be able to do the things that other people who are living more modestly and who have money are going to be able to do. So we'll say good luck if you're overspending. Okay, skipping class. We've all skipped a class here and there. Maybe we skip a certain class more than others. But it's not good. You're paying to be there. Go to class. And you need to be present at school, because you need to have people who will advocate for you when you graduate. Professors, deans, administrators. You need people to advocate for you. And they're not going to want to do that if they don't know who you are, because they're always skipping class. So I'm definitely going to go with good luck. Okay, I guess I could put it lower, but no. You should, if you're skipping class consistently, it's not a good look. And also, you're not going to get the information that you need. Yeah, good luck. Next, not asking questions and engaging in class. This one is, it's a little, I'm on the fence with this one, because I know that I maybe have ADHD or something, but if I'm not engaged in class and if I'm not asking questions, then I'm not going to be paying attention. So I need to be engaged fully. And why I ask a lot of questions in class, because I am, vocal in class, is because I'm in my head, I'm applying the information to situations that I might come across, in my job, potentially as an entrepreneur, maybe in the next 10 years or so. I have long-term goals of being an entrepreneur. So yeah, I'm asking questions because I want to apply the information to my personal circumstances and future circumstances. So if you're not thinking in that way, you're not engaged with the material, you're not, building a relationship with the professor, that's suboptimal. It's not great. I'm not saying that you have to ask questions every 5 minutes, but you should be engaging with the information. All right. Wasting your summers. It's good to have a vacation. You should take some time off during your summer. We work hard during the school year. But if you're doing nothing all summer, that's really a disadvantage. You could be using the summer to help you with those longer term goals. We get busy with homework and with work during the school year, but while we have some time freed up during the summer, we should be thinking about the things we want to do long term and helping gain advantages in that area. So if you're not doing anything all summer, if you're just taking it easy, sleeping all day, not doing anything, 1 or 2 summers, okay, but yeah, I'm gonna say good luck. I'll just put it at suboptimal. Okay, it's not good. You could be fine, but you should be doing something. Okay, even if it's more on the creative side, even if you're not getting paid, go do something. Go try to work for somebody that has an interesting career, even if it's for free. Go do something. You know, that's something that you can do even for a few hours a day. Do something. Okay, last one. Being too embarrassed or scared of failure. That's gonna hold you back throughout your whole life. If you're scared to take shots, if you're scared to go up to bat, you know, metaphorically speaking, it's gonna hold you back. Uh, you're gonna miss out on things. Okay, sometimes I've tried things. Maybe I've interviewed for jobs that I knew was way out of my league, that I was way underqualified for, and now I'm on those people's radars, and I have constant communication with those people, and now I have some prospects for a career when I graduate that came just by me being audacious, having some audacity to say, "Hey, I think I can do this," even though I know I'm underqualified. I'm gonna advocate for myself. I'm gonna stand on business. That that's actually a quality that I think a lot of employers like and are looking for, and maybe it won't give you an immediate reward of you get the job immediately, or you try something and you fail, it doesn't succeed immediately, but you're learning a lot and there are benefits that can come from that, and there are things that can come from you trying something that could be even better than if you succeeded at it. Okay, and I'm gonna leave it there because you just have to experiment. If you're not able to do that because you're too scared of failure, good luck. I'll just say good luck. You're not cooked, but it's gonna be hard for you. You're not gonna get the most out of life, and it's probably gonna make you sad because you could be doing things, you could be getting more than you want, or more than you're getting, but instead you're scared, and I don't think anyone can be in that state of mind and be happy with themselves all the time. So there's our tier list. Let me know what you guys think. And if you know anyone who is dealing with some of the things on this list, share this with them or just tell them. And let's all try to optimize our chances of getting a good career when you graduate. You know, it's depressing when you graduate and you've done all those 4 years of school, and then you have nothing to show for it, and you can't go anywhere, and then you got to go work at a job that you don't even need a degree for. That's depressing. So I don't want to see you guys in that spot. You shouldn't want to see your friends in that spot. And let's take advantage of the time that we have in school and become the best that we can be. Okay, take a look at that AI tool in the description if you just want something to, you know, start experimenting with. It can be a platform that you start building on. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.